Lately, I have been rereading Diary of a Wimpy Kid Old School, and I have found a couple mistakes. The first one that I was able to find is on page 104, where Greg states that he assumes that Billy paid for the Thin Mints. However, on page 108, he asserts that stealing the Thin Mints was Billy's idea. However, Billy has only ever stolen a pack of sour gummy worms, and that's the only reason why he is in jail. So Greg does not know that he stole those Thin Mints. Like I said, and well, like he said, he assumed he paid for it. So how can then he assert that he stole it? This should instead say sour gummy worms instead of Thin Mints. Moving on to the next mistake, take a look at page 13 and pay close attention to the letter I. Notice that the two horizontal marks are actually straight, but in every single other instance where Greg writes the capital I, not only in this book, but in other books, the two lines above and below the I are actually slanted. Maybe he was trying to emphasize the I and thus make it bold, and try to follow this type of style where he capitalizes all of the words he tries to emphasize. But I think he's only done that one other time, and this was the notation that was used. Greg also talks about being a part of Rowley's last birthday. But Rowley Jefferson's birthday takes place in October, and the last birthday would be during the time of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Ugly Truth. Greg and Rowley are not friends until November, and very late November at that. So it does not make sense for Greg to have been invited to Rowley's birthday party. And also a really tiny detail, the menu says chicken patties, corn on the cob, and stew, and Greg passes on the stew. But the corn is not on a cob. If you take a look at Greg's plate, it looks like it's just separate. And there is no evidence of a cob. On page 61, there is a drawing mistake, as we can see this man's hand behind his right arm and elbow. So I guess his hand is transparent, and that should not be the case. I have covered mistakes in this book in other videos, but I think, or at least I hope, this is like one cohesive video where it shows all of the ones that I have missed. And at times it's really hard to say with the drawing mistakes. Like, you could say that Susan is drawn a little too short here, but for this type of like speculative drawing stuff, I'm not really going to focus on it.